In these places, Ronald McDonald is a persona non grata. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 countries with no McDonald's. For this list, we're looking at countries that, for one reason or another, are not home to a McDonald's restaurant. We won't be including countries that went McDonald's-less for years, only to receive a franchise more recently, like Kazakhstan. Number 10, Zimbabwe. This landlocked South African country experienced positive economic growth throughout the 1980s and 90s, and as such, was on the verge of receiving their first ever McDonald's franchise back in 2000. Sadly, citizens of Zimbabwe hoping to sink their teeth into a Big Mac for the first time were left wanting, as their country's economy went into a downward spiral that same year.
In reality, life has become worse. The government blames sanctions, but the real reasons are rampant corruption, poor governance, and excessive spending.
International companies such as McDonald's don't like to take risks. So the moment they realized a Zimbabwean franchise wouldn't be profitable, they pulled the plug on the entire operation. 2 decades later, and you still won't find any golden arches in Zimbabwe. Number 9, Montenegro. You can find a McDonald's restaurant in 118 countries and territories across the globe, which makes it all the more perplexing that this tiny European country doesn't have one.
Montenegro, or Black Mountain. The very name conjures up images of romance and drama, and this fascinating land does not disappoint.
Okay, full disclosure, Montenegro was once home to a mobile McDonald's, a tiny version of the real thing, but the country has since parted ways with the fast food franchise. Why, you ask? That's the billion-dollar question many of Montenegro's citizens have been asking. The mobile McDonald's had been a hit, causing many to question why more were never opened.
Welcome to a hidden corner of the planet, yet to be discovered by the rest of the world.
It got so bad that the government eventually had to put out a press release stating, quote, "No company, not even McDonald's, is forbidden to do business in Montenegro." Number 8, Barbados. Picture this. You're lying on a beautiful Barbadian beach, soaking up the sun and living your best life.
Los Barbados, named by the Portuguese and colonized by the British, is now a flourishing, independent Caribbean island and a world-class holiday destination.
What's missing? Well, if you said a 10-piece chicken nugget trio, too bad.
Chicken McNuggets.
Barbados may be home to some of the Caribbean's most picturesque locations, but one thing you won't find there is McDonald's. The company opened a restaurant there in 1996, but it failed to generate much interest from the local population. It wasn't long before Ronald McDonald & Co. packed up their deep fryers and left the island nation for good. And as of this video, they've yet to return. Number 7, Bolivia. This South American country was once home to a number of McDonald's franchises, but the fast food giant picked up their ball and went home in 2002.
Bolivia is a relatively undeveloped country in the heart of South America.
It turns out that despite their love of hamburgers, Bolivians were not interested in further lining the pockets of one of the world's richest corporations. Citizens were simply not fans of the Mickey D's brand, with former President Evo Morales once quipping, quote, "McDonald's is not interested in the health of human beings, only in earnings and corporate profits." Hey, what about their salads that have more calories than a Big Mac?
The Keep Calm and Caesar On chicken salad packs more than 730 calories and 53 grams of fat. That's more than a Big Mac.
Number 6, Ghana. Despite the success of other fast food companies such as KFC, Ghana remains McDonald's-less.
KFC, it's finger-licking good.
The country welcomed the Colonel to its capital city of Accra in 2011, and the city now boasts 15 different locations from which its citizens can purchase that finger-licking good chicken. Up until recently, Ghana was an extremely poor nation, but the discovery of offshore oil has boosted its economy.
The country is rich in raw materials such as oil, which was recently discovered in the region.
As more and more people are lifted out of poverty, flocking to the cities in search of opportunity, major corporations continue to take notice. As such, we suspect it's only a matter of time until McDonald's franchises begin to pop up in the country. Number 5, Macedonia.
We're visiting a small country with a big history, and sites dating all the way back to the Bronze Age. Now, people there are hoping that ancient past will pull in today's tourists.
Macedonia's capital city of Skopje was once home to a number of McDonald's restaurants, but today, the city's skyline is seriously lacking in the Golden Arches department. So what gives? Well, in 2013, McDonald's European head office issued a statement announcing that SJ Company, the company in charge of Macedonia's McDonald's franchises, had lost its license. Rumors abounded as to the reason why, but few answers were made available to the public. Today, Macedonia remains a McDonald's-free zone, despite the company's successful run of 16 years in the Balkan country.
You can sleep late, because we get up early. Breakfast at McDonald's.
Number 4. Bermuda. In 1977, Bermuda passed the Prohibited Restaurants Act, which banned fast food franchises from operating on the island. However, in 1985, McDonald's discovered a loophole that allowed them to build a Mickey D's without breaking any laws.
Things you even come to depend on. Day in and day out, they're always there through the day. That's why you will always find 3 classic McDonald's tastes at a price you can count on. The Big Mac, 6-piece chicken McNuggets, and Filet-O-Fish extra value meals, each just $2.99 every time.
They accomplished this by building it on a U.S. naval air station, which is American soil in the eyes of the law. However, when the base shut its doors in 1995, McDonald's was forced to close up shop as well. In the years since, the Prohibited Restaurants Act of 1977 has kept McDonald's at bay, despite their best efforts to regain a foothold in the market.
I've never eaten a Big Mac and thought to myself, I should put on a bikini now.
Number 3. Yemen.
Yemen? Happy Meals? In Yemen.
Yemen threatened military action, which makes sense because they're a monarchy. Specifically, they have a Burger King.
One of the most politically and economically volatile countries on our list, Yemen poses an enormous risk to any American fast food company that wishes to open a franchise there. For starters, since 2015, the country has been embroiled in a deadly civil war that's claimed the lives of tens of thousands of people.
This is the Yemeni city of Taiz, where an already ugly war has metastasized and is grinding the ruins of life into dust.
Second, it's been made clear that American companies hoping to break through in the region will be met with hostility from extremists, if not outright violence. McDonald's has dubbed Yemen a non-viable option from an economic standpoint, and from a safety standpoint, it might be in everyone's best interests for the company to steer clear for the time being.
Hi, I need a fake ticket to Yemen.
One ticket to Yemen?
Oh, no. I just need a pretend ticket.
Number 2, Iran.
Like most Americans, I know almost nothing about Iran.
The last time there was a McDonald's in Iran, people were listening to Michael Jackson's first solo album on their Sony Walkman, which cost nearly $500 when adjusted for inflation. The year was 1979, the same year as the Iranian Revolution. This marked an end to Western powers influencing Iran, and as such, McDonald's exited stage left real quick.
The number killed in Tehran since the beginning of the month is probably well over 100, but people in this crowd were saying and believing 7,000 had been killed.
It's been over 4 decades since the company had a franchise in Iran, and in its absence, McDonald's has been replaced by the adorably named knockoff McDonald's. Whether or not Macca's will ever open another restaurant in Iran remains a mystery, but one thing we do know is that until they do, McDonald's will be picking up the slack. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. North Korea.
North Korea is the world's most repressive regime. The brutal Kim dynasty, which has been in control for over half a century, has presided over some of the world's worst human rights abuses.
Do we really need to explain this one? Dubbed the Hermit Nation thanks to its infamously closed-off nature, North Korea is a totalitarian dictatorship that openly despises anything and everything that has to do with America. And few things symbolize capitalism and the good old US of A quite like McDonald's. As such, you won't find a Mickey D's anywhere in North Korea. The situation is unlikely to change as long as the country remains under the grip of its authoritarian government.
So North Korea is a very low trust society, right? People trust their family, they trust people that they have worked with for very long times, but if you say institutional trust, it doesn't exist.
However, in 2011, it was reported that members of that same government were having McDonald's smuggled into the country from South Korea.
North Korea, not loving it.
Kim Jong-un does not allow his country to have McDonald's, which is maybe the one good thing Kim Jong-un does for his country.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.